and your web, and your head and Joan.
Good. Okay, keep doing it. I want you to think about that wide tongue that we talked about.
What it is our policy or just to give up
So go ahead. It's sneaking out that side. Open up.
part of our program is
Keep this open.
I had the honor of dining with Dr. Fletcher and really talking to him more about how he developed the SmartPalate, and later invited him to the University of Nevada, Reno to come talk to the students. And the thing that was so empowering that he said was that when you think about your practice, think about this could be better and how could you make it better. So we hope to make the lives of students better.
I think the SmartPalate and the Complete Speech apps are wonderful tools to introduce to students who've been working on persistent speech sound errors, because obviously what they've been doing is not working for them, so it's just a next step that they can try, and it remotivates them because they have more control over their own program and they're able to visualize and see what's actually happening live versus trying to understand what us as SLPs are trying to teach them. They can take more control over it.
There's nothing that is that good, at least that I know about or have seen, as far as visual feedback tools that can take the guesswork out of it, help it to specifically say, this is what you need to do with your tongue, this is where you need to get it. See that blue dot, you need to make it orange.
In terms of visual feedback, a lot of these kids don't hear their sound that they're making as incorrect. They hear it as correct because they've been doing it for a long time. We've got to take the audio out of it many a time. To provide the visual feedback is very monumental because it takes their problem area and there's no estimating if this is actually what the right one is or the wrong one. It's there, it's set, it's in writing visually, and they have to match it.
Children just take to it like a duck takes to water. They just put it in their mouth and they love the computer screen and the fact that it is feedback, on the spot. They get it auditorily, they get it visually, they get it tactily. I mean, it's just been a real gift for these students.
And the kids really like it. It really shows them in real time what they're doing in their mouth. And what they're doing now is showing on the screen, and there's no guesswork. It's no my opinion, their opinion. It's there it is. Can you make it look like that?
I've done therapy with children with a SmartPalate as young as 4, and I've also done it with adults. Currently, I'm in the process of having a man who is 57 fitted for the SmartPalate.
Kids love technology. Kids are used to technology, not like when I grew up where there was no technology, but I've been using computers in my office for 30 years. But the kids like it. The oral coordination game, as the kids view it as a game, is wonderful because they can compete against me, they can compete against themselves. They like the gold standard because it gives them a way to beat their record. I had one 11 turning 12-year-old child who had been in therapy most of his life for L's, R's, S's, Z's. When he came to therapy, I said, what are you working on? He told me the sounds, and then I said, what do you do to make those sounds? He goes, I have no idea. That really disturbed me. When we started with the SmartPalate, he goes, that's what I have to do? Like, how do I do that? How do I get my tongue there? I said, we'll get you there. He saw what he needed to do. He worked very hard to get his tongue to hit the right targets, and his mom said, I've had a lot of therapists before, but you went the extra mile to really get him to understand what he was doing.
I've had many success situations with the SmartPalate. One of my favorites is an older boy who has Asperger's syndrome, and he was highly motivated by computers and technology and struggled for a long time working with one speech pathologist on learning his R sound. And once I introduced him to the SmartPalate, he went home every day, practiced hard, figured out things about the software that I didn't know even existed, and within a 3-month period had conquered his R goal.
I remember one time we had a child, I think she was like around 10, that had multiple disabilities. And the mom came one day after, I think we did summer intensive for a week, just a week. And she's like, I realized when we were driving home, I understood every word she said. And she said it just brought her to tears.
The SmartPalate is a wonderful tool for SLPs to gain more knowledge as a clinician. It's amazing what you learn watching your own tongue to palate contact over time. You just gain valuable information about vowel production, consonant production, and how the tension of your tongue needs to maintain for certain vowels and the movement that occurs to a consonant. So it just helps you better explain how to facilitate a sound to a student.
What I really like is I like how complete speech allows us to be in on some of the ground floor of things, getting the basics and getting updates and upgrades and helping us get the latest technology available for our clients.
The student membership is a unique opportunity. I think that when you set up your work in your office and you work with a child, they understand what they're doing there. But if you don't have the motor memory going every day, at least for the 5 minutes that they may practice at home, you don't really get the carryover. So the student membership allows that student to take what you do in the therapy session and bring it home and practice it and get excited about it and habituate it.
My advice to parents or to students would be to give the SmartPalate a try. Give it a go.
It's very user-friendly. There's a lot of support you guys give now with both the videos that you can watch or talking to somebody. It's just gotten much easier, so I'd just say give it a try. And it's very effective.
My advice to schools or universities is get on the wagon. I mean, this is modern technology at its best. I definitely think it's a tool, especially for those who have residual articulation difficulties where traditional artic has not worked in the past. And I think it's really important that we as a profession remain open to new technology and new ideas and do whatever we can to help our children succeed and our adults succeed.
My advice to a kid who has been in therapy previously and has not succeeded is there's always another way. And like with any therapy scenario, you really have to find what works for each child. I think the SmartPalate is a good tool, along with many other tools that are in your toolkit, to get a child to succeed. If they're willing to give it a try, you can get them there. For speech-language pathologists, we have a lot of tools in our tool bag, and we have to use them very eclectically. For different students, different things work. I think this is monumental in changing the face of speech pathology because it takes the guesswork out of what you're doing with each child. If a child has apraxia, if a child has an articulation problem, they can see what they're doing. If you present that to them, it's going to make sense to them. And I think it's a great tool to have in your tool bag. It's an investment. It's an investment in something that really has been researched for a long time and works.
I like Indiana Jones' whip and hat. And the ABCs. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, and T, U, V, W, X, and Y, and Z. Next time, won't you sing with me?